I didn't even know that was an item, Midori. Gown of Light.
They just came out.
Menphilia's thing
Yay.
from the Mog Station. That reminds me, I was going to buy that when I was at work today, but I didn't, so I can do that right now.
You gotta put up markers first.
I put up a marker.
Oh
Come
yeah, we
on.
discovered when you were gone, none of us know how to do that. Like we're trying to do Ojo Savage, and we're like,
Yep, let's spend 2 hours doing one clear. And doing it with 30 seconds to spare.
Let's not talk about that.
It worked.
No.
Check food.
Tank healer, right?
Check your ACT. Playback devices. Headphones. Alright. There was no combat system update, so we should be good.
I don't actually need it, but ever since I reinstalled ACT, it doesn't seem to be parsing correctly anymore. Isn't there some like port I gotta open or something?
No.
No? Okay. Great.
But it does need to be in like admin mode.
Yep, it is.
And firewall needs to be like not blocking it.
Oh, there is a firewall thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, Windows Defender.
That sounds correct. There was something like that I needed to fix last. Like 3 years ago when I installed.
Silence.
I don't even know why I try to hit my positional there.
Twister. Random fires and then stack. Generate Twister.
That ball went really far out.
Fires and then stack. clean. In then out. Second fire's out. Thunders are out. Stack and then get out. Stack just outside the puddle. Thunders out. Fire in. Spread and then get out. Thunders out. That thunder was not very out.
Do it, Kanata. Do it, Kanata.
Raven's
What a
Beak.
fucking troll. See, I made the right choice. I hid in the wall. Dives and then stack.
Oh, the dive bombs were pretty good.
Are B and C allowed to hit each other like that?
BNC?
Or no, I didn't see the third dive bomb go out, or was that the third one at the end there?
That was the third one at the end.
Okay, where'd the second one go? I didn't see it then.
Exactly, it went from like right here this way, and it just like it hit like this much of the arena.
Okay, cool. That's
Yeah.
good.
The last one was a little too big. I should put it a little farther, like northeast.
Is the first one the only one we have to bait the supernovas for? Or do you have to do that for all of them?
Second one.
There's, yeah, the first marker goes out, then the 3 supernovas while that person is getting into position.
Alright.
That also means you could potentially get it at the second one. Like right before, well, not right before. You'll be like on your way to the second one. So a little far to the north.
Twister. Stack. Giant Twister. Fires and stack. Thunders. In then out.
Doom.
Thunders out. Stack and get in. Thunders, I'm going south. Fire. Going back north. Then turn around. Spread and then get in.
Oh shit, I can't ever remember. That's a hard habit.
Thunders.
Got time for that limit break.
I can't shirk yet. Spread and then dive.
Our so it's 1, 2. What's the third? D.
Yeah, D.
Okay.
Should I put D too far in there? Yeah, that was a weird configuration. It was like 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 11 o'clock. So I should have put D there. Oh, there's also a chance for the dive bomb at 1. So first
One of the dive bombs killed 2 people.
I know the last one's for sure.
Position on is gonna be different every time, right?
Generally. Alright, Twister. Random fires and stack. Jerry Twister.
Goddamn. It's weird playing this game when you sort of take a step back and you realize that ball was still like 8 feet away from me, but I knew that it was going to hit me because of the queue time and. I guess you just get used to it.
Giant Twister. I'm gonna fire stack. Giant Twister. Fire stack. Oh no! Thunders. And then out.
There.
Thunders, I'm going north. Stack, then get out. Thunders out. Fire in. Spread and then get in. I'm in the wall.
That was not a good time to do that.
Do we have a problem with people getting hit by a chariot or something after the donut?
Sometimes. Particularly the lightning people.
Did we have a solution for that?
So for the lightning people, you can actually just watch your debuff, and as soon as your debuff is disappeared, before you even see anything else on your screen, you can start running. Like, that is the fastest thing that you can look at to know when to anticipate to run. Is debuff timer ticks down to 0, you're free to move, and there's plenty of time to get there.
Or hit sprint. Maybe and hit sprint. Our twisters are touching.
No, they're friends. Alright, Twister. Random fires and stack. Giant Twister. Random fires and stack. Honk. In and stack. I have thunder and fire. Oh shit.
What did you
thunder
just say?
The thunders happen way later than the fire.
Yeah. It's the next one when the thunders and fire happen almost the same time.
What happened with that first thunder? How am I the only one that got hit by that? I was like with everyone else.
Somebody was not standing on the boss's hitbox ring and got clipped by the donut. That's all I can say.
That was a chain lightning. 42,000.
Then I guess the... Wait. What? How would only one person get hit by
I don't
double
know.
lightning?
I was in my ley lines at the stack point. I got hit by a lightning, and no one else did. I don't know what the hell just happened.
Oh, you did not have a thunder.
I did not. No, I got hit by someone else's lightning, and I can't fathom how only I got hit by it because we were like stacked at that. It's some next level shit. Whatever.
Luck.
Your ley lines are conductive.
Maybe. That's so weird.
Or your staff is.
Because like I manip to Vias and I put my ley lines down and everyone sort of stacks to him. So like I'm at the center of everything. I can't believe I.
Well,
I'm
I'm sure you know this, but manip does not move you into the center of their hitbox.
No, it's pretty damn close. Close enough that I shouldn't have to worry about the clipo of lightning.
I am at the center of everything he said.
It's a black mage thing you wouldn't understand.
Yep, I'll put that on the wrong person.
Generic Twister. Random fires. Generic Twister. Random fires. I don't know what we're doing different than last week, but keep it up.
We're not dying to twisters.
No, I mean like DPS wise, we are
We're
way
not
up.
dying to twisters.
I saw Tam got 2 of his accessories.
I'm fine. I'm fine. And then out. Fire out. Thunder's out. Stack and get out. Stop just outside the portal. Should be due north. And rotate. Thunder's out. Fire in. Positionals, then get
It's
in.
funny when you watch a video. They all seem to know what they're doing.
Fire's in. Thunder's out.
Where's our limit break?
So that time there was some weird stuff going on. Right at the end there. So boss was like here. We spread out, and then we were supposed to get in. Where's in?
She
Here?
jumps to a person, so you have to get to wherever that person she jumped to is. That'll be the end. It's like, what's that other boss that does that?
Right. No, sorry, but because when it happened is you get it. So it was that one was spread then in, and
Right.
spread in, and then she starts dropping the puddles, and then if we're not all together, people are going to be in a weird spot.
No,
When
she
it's all
drops
together.
She drops the puddles after the lightning. Every time.
Speaking of lightning, we need a better system for dropping them in the third and fourth
Okay,
mechanics.
let's talk about that in just a second, because what happened there was a bit of a shit show that was what actually caused, I think, the lightning positional confusion. Like, because what ended up happening is, Carrot went this way, and I thought this was like the direction we were going as a group, and it turns out Carrot had lightning.
Well, we just need to call out, I guess, if the tank has lightning, so that you
Yes,
stay on the far side of the boss. Because the boss is going to go wherever the tank is.
Yeah, that's
Right.
the other part of it, Midori.
All right, so let's talk about the first couple sets of puddles really quick, because we do really good at getting south, but then I see people like juking to the west. You should never go to the west. You should never go to the east. We should be, as a group, like moving as a single unit south, and then just to the north of the puddle. We should still be tightly stacked at that point. So the puddles should always be like here and then here. And then you should only deviate from that if you have the doom that you have to clear.
To clarify, though, I would actually like us to not go all the way south. Because there's no reason why we actually have to leave melee range when we come back. It just needs to be far enough away. Like, here is totally fine.
If, like, we're taking the boss pretty much as far south as we can without getting hit by the Iron Chariot.
Okay, but what I'm saying is if the boss is starting out in the right position, and we drop the first puddle here, when we come back from the first puddle, we will be safe from the Iron Chariot here, and 2, when we come back, we'll be in melee range, which would be nice.
Okay, I mean, that is...
I'm just saying don't go all the way south if it's starting at the right position here. Like, what ends up happening is the boss drifts to, like, here, and then we need to go all the way south. It's just like, look at where the boss is, and we don't need to go all the way. Just a little farther than
the second puddle doesn't need to be exactly immediately, like, to the north, but it's, like, until we, like, get to the point where we're not fucking it up, like, having clear places to stack helps. Now, it could be like, we drop the first puddle here, and then we just run up to the boss and drop the second puddle under the boss. And that's fine, as long as we all move as a unit, and we're not, like, drifting towards C because I don't like to stand on top of other people's, because then I can't see my character. Whatever. I don't know why people do that.
That's not the right choice.
Oh, it's usually because, like, for example, if I'm doing a cast, if I go north, I'll just die.
Why?
Oh, because the bubble, the circle is not necessarily centered on me or anyone in particular, right? If the circle is like here and I'm standing here to cast, then it's safer for me to take like one step this way instead of all the way up.
What I'm saying is, you shouldn't be there in the first place. We should be moving as a unit. And I don't know what we need to change to make sure that that happens, but having a loose spread of where the puddle might appear means that the second puddle gets even further off, which means now we're just sort of like winging it for the rest of the phase. And then the lightning positions just go wherever, and then yada yada yada. Now, speaking of lightning, I think something that we could try, because we no longer have the little like Mickey ears, because we're using those for dive bomb markers. We know exactly where the lightnings need to go for the first one, and that's the only one where the lightnings need to be in a very specific position. I suggest for the remaining lightnings, we have people go to B and C, which should be far enough out from the boss that you should not clip anybody. And so, like,
It's
B
not
and C
the
are
party
like,
though. So it's
Sorry.
what's happening is people are trying to clear. They run back to people run out with the lightning, and they think they're far enough out, but then someone runs back to clear their doom, and they're then get hit by the lightning because they're away from the party, which is correct. Doom puddle, which is
Right.
not correct.
So let's go over
So
what's happening.
the BNC only
We-
works but the BNC only works if she doesn't do like in to be right there, because won't they both actually be hit?
So
Like see
the puddles should always be in like this sort of column. And if we're dropping the puddles in the correct location, then this should be far enough out from clearing the doom that it will not hit the people who are trying to clear the doom.
except for the ones where she's like in and stay in, like stack and stay in, and then we go in a circle around her hitbox, right?
Does
When
she
we
do
do
that
the white
combo
puddle-
for the first one?
She can do that combo for the first one. She could do the combo for the second one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the second one's where I keep seeing people die, because the first one, the lightnings are pretty. We're good with those ones.
Right. I mean, it's like the lightnings. Let's just say like the lightnings should go towards A, right? The lightnings like run
Sure.
out
Yes.
with lightning towards the back of the arena. Don't run out with lightning towards the front of the arena. If we can agree on that, then if you see someone running north of the boss, you can assume that they have lightning.
I think you're seeing me if we stay stacked correctly, which the problem is we're not. So there are random like white puddles all over the place, which is why people get. I think that's what it seems like. Because every time I've gone to clear my doom, it is not where the party was. It's where this random white puddle was like off to the side.
And that goes to what I was saying, which is people drifting before the white puddles go out, when we should be stacked.
Is that like to hit positionals or something?
I don't know what it is, but for at least for the first two sets of white puddles, we should always be in a predictable position based on her call. Should either be making a little circle around her, or dropping a puddle south, then having the second puddle to the north of that, and then going around her. Like, those should be the only two scenarios for both of those calls.
As a side note, if I have a thunder and I don't have a white puddle or a fire or anything, is there any reason I can't just like run out to here?
Only that, like, you need to get in for the next mechanic. Like, that's
Sure.
an unnecessary amount of movement.
Well, I mean, if I have a fire starter or any sort of proc and I can just manip back, like what I'm getting at is there any reason why I can't just be in like the middle of nowhere with a?
Yeah, well, you should, because we've just agreed to this, take it north and not to the side. But yes, you can be anywhere in the arena that you're not going to hit someone else, except for the very first call.
Can't you get the white circle though?
Yes.
Are
Because
those out before thunder goes out?
well, they go out before the fire goes out. You will have the fire tether, and then the fire will land, and then the thunders will happen, and then the white puddles will immediately start spawning.
And there could be 3 of them.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you can't do that then. All right. That's all I needed to know. So there is a reason to not do that then. This is the answer there.
Alright. I gotta take a quick hop off. I'll be back in like 10 seconds.
Also, I'm assuming this doesn't change me going right when you guys all go left, but the clockwise one.
Seems
So all it's gonna do is take a puddle
Yeah.
from 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock, which should,
That should be mostly fine.
yeah.
Alright, nobody's been able to hear me this whole time.
We have not, Tam.
Welcome, Tam.
Yeah, hey, how's it going, man?
Hey!
Also, something else to keep in mind, when we come south for this one, when you guys all go like up to here, I'm kind of going out to like here. So if I get a white puddle there, then it'll be like 2 steps over to the right, which again shouldn't affect too much. It's just going to prevent me from having to move a shit ton.
Well, that's exactly
I think-
what Tara
What I
talking
was-
about.
Yeah, I think you need to not do that, actually. Yeah.
What I was saying with the third set, what I was trying to say with the third set, is that lightnings explode like after the first white puddle explodes.
What was that?
I'm gonna come back to that in a second, but I was gonna say placeholder. If you want to go here, and then split off this way for the third one. But I think you need to stack with us for this one.
Lightnings are either going off after the first or second puddle, white puddles explode, and then like people with lightning have to go clear their doom, possibly.
So I guess the question is there a difference between a puddle being here and being here?
If
If a lightning is at B, is there really a functional difference?
Sorry, I just got back. Why would there be a difference?
So when, like in the first one, when you guys go left, I go right. In this bottom one here, when you guys all go here, I'm kind of going like here. It's like 2 steps over to the right.
You know, like, you do you.
We will find out if it's a problem. Theoretically, it seems fine.
Except that was one of the reasons they died once.
As long as you don't get close to
Someone had, as long as we now are saying, yeah, that the thunders are going, but that was what happened before, is there was the puddle was like way off to the side, and I ran over there and I got hit by a thunder to clear my doom.
I'm not
Like-
way off to the side. I'm like 2 steps over.
That was it, though. I mean, it wasn't where the group was, so I know it was someone who was not with.
Right, and we're gonna drop thunders on the A side of the boss. So A is danger.
People need to call, because I'm not going to be able to put my controller down and hit the push to talk button to say I'm going to B if I have a thunder, so.
I think the at that point, you should be able to see, like, because you can spread out once you get there. If people are heading in a northernly direction, you should be able to see where the other person who has thunder is, because there should only be 2 people heading north, or maybe 3 if it's.
Not only the
person with-
first one.
No, I mean like
the
for
second
the
and third
second one. Yeah. Like the first one, it's only a problem because it's so tight. The second one, you can not be anywhere near anyone. You should just like spread the fuck out, basically. But now we have a specific region where people will spread out. Which honestly we should have been doing. Generate Twister.
So much boss move. This is like so sad for positionals.
They should just make this like a Eureka, where all of the enemies have no positionals.
Well, it's like the
Just
boss will
assault.
like switch between tanks and just adjust like
Random fire.
15 degrees. And it's like, well, there's another positional I just missed.
Giant Twister. Bonk. In and out. Alright, let's try it. Fire out to the north. Thunder's out to the north. Stack and get out. Thunder's out.
So that second puddle, there was 3 of you and you all went in different directions. Did you see that? That's probably a problem too. Like, as far as I understand, if there's
Hey,
a
I don't wanna
puddle
hear
like at her
problems.
south side, everyone should be still going clockwise, right?
Yes.
You guys all went in 3 different directions and none of them were clockwise.
Well, I know that the person who had Short Doom was Tam, and he went to the south puddle. So that's excusable. But as for everyone else, and this is part of the reason why we want to move as minimally as possible, like dropping the puddles, basically so that they're touching each other, is so that each person, when they move to clear their doom, only has to move a minimal amount and can generally stay in melee range the whole time.
Preach.
Like, get the fuck over here.
Suck everyone in.
And then shield.
Yeah, they'll probably give that to us before we get a gap closer.
Oh. We could just gap close the party and run for the boss.
Yeah, that's how you get the boss to come to you, is you just suck the main tank in.
Wasn't that supposed to be a dark skill? Like to pull them in?
Yeah, but I think it was taken out because it basically couldn't work on most bosses.
You just reminded me of that, and I was like, wait a second, what happened to that?
Oh, I'm getting used to full, man.
That's true. Technically.
One of those things that was like only relevant in PvP.
I guess that's better than nowhere. I'm just like, I'm gonna run behind the boss to get my positional, and the boss like, nope, fires. You're never gonna hit any positional ever.
Generate Twister. Random fires and then stack. Generate Twister. Random fires and stack. Clench.
Trivialized mechanics.
And then out. Rip. Fire out. Thunder's out.
I can't move. So.
That can get in. Thunder's out. Fire in. Spread and get in. Yep, no limit break for you.
So close.
How hot was it down in the bay today? We get up to mid or upper 80s. So
Got to like 82. It's a little bit.
first warm week though.
Pretty jolly.
Super sunny.
Big contrast to the weekend.
It was like 52 and dribbling.
Sounds like Seattle. January Twister. Generate random fires and stack. Generate Twister.
I'm so upset. That's entirely my fault.
That was.
Did you see what happened?
Yes.
I missed my jump.
You missed your. Okay, no, I didn't see what.
So the reason I jump is so that I have forward momentum. So when I turn around and cast with like triple cast, I don't run towards the boss. And I missed my gem input. So when I hit triple cast, my guy turned around and ran towards the boss, which is into a ball.
Are you aware this is not a platformer?
No. This is entirely a thing.
It is.
So you run and then you jump so that whenever you hit the button that makes you face the boss, you don't change your direction.
Yes.
This is very important for tanking. Dude, didn't you ever play fucking Hunter in WoW? This is like
Yeah.
the first thing that
It's
you
basically
learn
the
at
same
level.
thing.
You got a jump shot.
So yes, that's what happened. I missed my jump shot and I ran into a ball. My bad.
Are you guys on Legacy?
It helps for Black Mage stuff.
No.
It helps
I
for
don't like it.
helps for Paladin.
I don't think it matters though.
If you're on Legacy, you can shoot and fire at the same time.
No, it's about
It doesn't change your speed or like focus.
That's where you're wrong, buddy.
anyway. We can talk about this after the poll.
Let me do that first.
It's okay. The boss spends a lot of time not looking at me. Jerry Twister. Wow, our twister puddles are definitely overlapping.
Does that make them one puddle?
Random fires and stack. Jerry Twister. Random fires and then stack. Stack.
Oops.
Thanks. Mister, I gotta be in a different spot than everybody else. Just take everybody else's fun.
You need to fire inside.
What happened?
I took Virus's Doom puddle. That one's on me.
Yeah. You can't run back.
Yeah, that's what I did. Muscle
So
memory's a
how about
bitch.
we all just run as a group?
No, he just needs to not be back.
That wasn't what caused it at all.
This is the kind of problem he would have no matter which way he was running.
Kinda watch out.
Yay, Twister! Feeling like it wasn't even us. We hadn't died to those.
Left foot on green spirally thing. Just checking. Tam, have you tried to talk at all today? Because I have not heard you say a word.
Yes, I have.
He was trying it early, and you stepped out when he realized it was.
Okay. Just making sure you're not mad at us. Miss the silent
Nope.
treatment.
Although I do need to click out of Final Fantasy XIV in order to talk to you guys.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, you probably need to restart the client because it's in admin mode.
I'll do it during the 5-minute break.
Sure.
Or make Discord admin?
We should be taking our break in a bit. Take it at 8:45.
Which is going to be one pull from now.
Yeah, I had the 5th one, it's fine.
Giant Twister. Random fires and then stack. Generate Twister.
88 HP.
I was definitely clemencying. Random fires and stack. Stack. Back south. Fire out. Fire out. Thunder's out. Stack and get in. The third fire definitely needs to be out. Thunder's out. Fire in. Everyone in. Fire in. Everyone in. Oh, sorry. I was wrong. That was. We had the second fire was in. Let me spread, then get out. Thunder's out. Now for that third one, because it's spread and then get out, the puddles are definitely going to be in random places. Just need to make sure if you have...
That last thunder, it was in south. Was it, Tam had it? Am I right? So he's still supposed to be running that north, right?
For the third one, because the white we spread, you should just, if you have thunder, drop it out of the group in the direction that your cardinal is, whatever that is.
You gotta let
So-
people know though. So
Yeah, because Tam's got it. He's tanking in the middle, and most people are trying to collapse back to there, and they're running into a thunder.
Alright, well, because Tam can't do his push-to-talk thing right at this
I
second.
vote for a 5-minute break so he can fix that. That's kind
Okay.
yeah.
How long is the timer on this instance? Is it 2 hours?
yeah.
Alright,
We
we
should
can
just reset.
we should reset now.
On the one hand, I was gonna say let's do it again. He's not gonna get it again, but he and we'll be super sad if it happens. Like, actually, the only person that's a problem is Carrot and Tam. So, right? Like, nobody else actually has a real restriction on movement.
Well, it's not just a restriction on movement. It's like making sure that other people are aware of the danger of being too close to the boss's hitbox.
Oh, it's when
What
like,
about
Nail just follows the tank, and they're like, "Oh, the boss is moving. Let's follow." Oh, and then get hit by lightning.
that happens a lot, by the way. Like, in terms of number of deaths that are in fact technically my fault, that's probably like 30% of them in that phase. Like, just like blindly following the tank.
BRB.
How dare you? It's break time. That's not what this is for.
Yeah, break time is time for me to reassign all of my retainers. And then,
My squadron out.
yeah, check my squadron, fertilize the plots. Oh,
Water your
my
army.
retainer just brought me a bag of jute seeds. She must have noticed I was collecting them.
They periodically jump up to like a fucking billion gil. So I've been sending my retainers out for like Defeticloth and light steel plate. But every time it's like a fashion item, I'm like too late. And it's just like, oh, well, they're not selling for a million gillion. Oh. Because I've got like 12 Defeticloth and I think 6 light steel plate
How do you get those?
retainers.
Yeah, but like, I don't get them from Quick Ventures.
Yes, that's correct. You don't get them real quick. Let me check really.
It's like level 50 Ventures.
Hold on. It's a specific one. Well, there's one that has the highest chance. I think there's actually available from like 3. Okay, so my gather is on Quick Ventures. It's not her.
My botanist has been collecting just like all of the gatherable stuff so that I never have to want for something if I ever need to craft it. Like, we're good on White Frost cotton balls now.
You got a lot of inventory space, shall we say. Field Exploration 13.
Are you saying my butt's big?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
But yeah, Field Exploration 13. That is the one.
Actually, for all I know, Quick Ventures can hypothetically
Yes,
give you.
they probably can.
It's just like 1 in 1,000 chance.
Oh, it's lower than that, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm probably more likely to get an actually like crafted taffeta piece of outfit than a piece of taffeta cloth.
Do we know if the that parse analyzing tool works for like just the first part of this phase? Is there a way that it breaks it down like that?
Well, the parse processing tool will show you the timeline of all of your actions and timers and buffs and stuff like that, even if you don't clear the boss.
Yeah, but so for other fights, right, like say for Omega, they have it set up where like it'll tell you, oh well, other black mages do this, 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 and this, and it gives you like examples and stuff of what you should be doing at certain timing.
And you're like, I don't have examples to go by.
Well, there's that, but then there's also like, is this fight actually broken into 3 parts, or is it considered one fight? I don't actually know how that works, but
It's probably just considered one fight.
I'd be interested to see if I can still optimize stuff in that twin phase. I feel like I can't, but I could be wrong.
Also keep in mind, like 4 black mages have cleared this, so good luck.
It's a little more than 4. I think there's, I don't know, I have to look at what the numbers were. Last time I checked back in the day, there was like 2 in the NA. Or maybe 1, I don't know. Then a couple in Japan.
Let's just say there's not a large pool to draw from.
I spent
fair,
so long trying to find the best in slot list for Black Mage for this fight. It doesn't exist.
I was going to say, let's be clear, of the people who have cleared, do you really care which of them you're going to emulate?
No, probably not. You're probably right. But I had to actually sit down and do math to make my gear set, and it was depressing.
I like spreadsheets.
I want to vomit.
I don't know, I used that parsing tool and like it didn't give me any tips other than don't die.
That means you're playing optimally, dude.
Also, not dying is a pretty good advice.
Well, it was like don't die. Like I was not I was like sometimes I'd use or reapply my buffs a little bit early, but there weren't like any like specified tips for just warriors in there.
I don't want this to like sound wrong, but warriors don't have the most complicated rotation at the moment.
No, they don't.
I'm not sure how many DPS it is, but it just occurred to me that like how much DPS I'm actually using from boss position in that fight. It's kind of a lot, actually. every time I lose a position, that's 5 kinky. 5 kinky is 1/5 of a Hisatsu Shinten, which is 300 potency, so that's 60 potency I lose every time I miss a position. And if I'm missing like 5 or 6 or 7, just in the first phase.
I'm trying to minimize how much she moves, but
yeah. I know, you guys are more or less trying most of the time. But it's just like, some of it's just like really stupid. Like I think it's gonna take, like in my mind, I'm like, okay, it's gonna take me 4/10 of a second before my thing goes off. I'm fine with the position here. And then it takes 5/10 of a second. And it's like, ah, crap, she turned. Like, there's a lot of times where I'm within like 0.2 seconds of when she's gonna turn, right? Like, over the course of a fight, it happens, she turns so much. And so it's like, there's so many times when I'm gonna like try to hit positional, and it seems to always, and I know that this is just a coincidence, or maybe I just notice it, I guess is actually a better way to describe it. Because not every one of my hits is a position. Like, I don't actually have that many positions. Out of the 8 GCDs that I hit as part of my standard, why did I say? Out of the 8 GCDs I hit as part of my standard, like, core combo, 2 of them are positional. So it's not a ton, but it's just one of those. It's just stupid. And then if you factor in the changes to the rotation that happened because of Lost King, I don't know, maybe I'd consider it 70 kinky loss or 70 potency loss total per positional. So it's like 500 potency, maybe.
Use that one thing that you have.
I do. It's part of my opener.
In the part where you're losing the most.
Well, the problem is it only lasts 15 seconds. So, like, in that 15 seconds, at most, I'm gonna use one positional.
Probably 2.
Well, what if you have that at the same time as the thing that lets you just use whatever skill?
Oh, yeah. Okay, maybe during that sometimes, but usually, like, those tend to line up with quiet times where I can hit them easily.
Fair.
That's as close to big DPS as Samurai gets. I'm well aware when those times happen. And the other thing that was occurring to me is that the difference between and Hisatsu Seigen, which is the thing I can do from the Mind's, or what is it? Yeah, Mind's Eye Open Eyes buff. That is, like, each positional loss is like 5 times the difference between the advantage of using Seigen.
Oops, I'm ready.
Which, I guess, my point in that, in even mentioning that, is just like, what an incredibly 99.9% percentile player move, even using that at all. Just like makes fucking the tiniest fraction of a sliver of it. But there's 2 buttons involved in using it, and it's situational. I'm trying, but in terms of going the extra mile, it doesn't feel very worth it.
I think they gave a lot of classes moves like that. It's like dissipation.
But see, dissipation is different in the sense, in the right scenario, it can make a difference, and otherwise you don't even try to use it. Whereas this is something that you should be kind of, in theory, using all the time. but it makes like virtually no difference.
Dissipation should be a raw DPS increase.
Okay. Actually,
I'm ready.
I didn't remember that part of this.
You get 3 energy drains at the very worst.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure.
And you do fewer onto you cast to do the same output of healing.
Except that your fairy doesn't heal.
Sure.
I mean, if you're going for a 99th percentile scholar parse, I'm sure you would use dissipation as part of your opener.
Yeah. During your chain stratagem and cleric stance, do all your buffs and do 9 energy drains. Or I guess you can't do 9, but you do like a bunch of energy drains.
Right. No, that is true.
And you would, of course, get like less than 0.5% more DPS.
I think you get. Well, I mean, if you're talking about over the course of the entire fight.
Yeah, over the course of the entire fight, you get.
Oh crap! We need to back out.
Yeah.
New top strat.
One take. Just halve it. No problem.
On the one hand, you're right that it's not a lot of DPS. On the other hand, that's actually a very straightforward thing to do, though.
Until you realize you can't do the first 45 seconds of the fight without a pet. And you put more strain on your co-healer.
Alright, switched.
Co-healers adjust.
So I made Kanata do. In Phantom Trade.
Sounds familiar.
What Carrot made Kanata do in A12?
True.
Yeah. Why am I such a pushover?
I mean, it's kind of fun to see the orange healer DPS part.
Yeah, and you're like 3% white mage purse healing. Like it got
Well, but the
lower
funny part
every week.
I know, and the funny part was like you weren't like 90th percentile. You were still like 35 percentile.
I was around, yeah. I was about 50, just under 50 usually. Like, yeah.
But yours
35,
dropped
45.
too, is my. It wasn't just my parse. It was also yours.
your food.
Yours was also dropping. That was the funny.
Yeah, well, I dropped from like a 90 percentile to a 50 percentile. You went from like a 30% to like literally.
I got some high
70%.
healing parts.
Well, because of that.
Thanks, guys.
We made Garrett and Tam do a 99 percentile healing round.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Like top
That's just-
10.
Like,
I think
you can cast a lot of clemency if you
Midori,
really
didn't-
try.
didn't you get a 100 percentile parse?
It's like 99.
No, Midori
Oh, Midori.
for healing.
I was in the 90s for sure.
Oh, my rotation's off. We're fucked.
I hope that's not true.
We're not. That we're fucked is not true. My rotation is off though.
Might be taking a little more damage later in the fight. An unspecified moment. January Twister.
I don't even know if that's your intention, Tylee, but I think dragging it so far to the side.
Random fires. Giant twister. Clench. Okay, we're good. Had a Benny.
No, I actually didn't miss quite as many positions. Maybe I just wasn't counting before. I only missed 3 or 4.
In and out. Alright, readjust the boss position, fire out, thunders to the north. Stack and then get in. How those puddles go clockwise. Thunders, get out. Fire in. Spread to your positions, then get out. Fires in. Thunders out.
Going south. Tank.
Well, that was weird.
Love's giving me the lightning there.
The more people die, the more likely it is you're gonna get it.
Oops, 2 should have been. Not that enough.
Alright, Twister.
Okay, I'll take it.
You what? Alright. I thought that was intentional. It's like,
It was intentional, almost.
Random fires and stack.
I was trying to do something like it, but
just a repeat.
Twinton is like, here, let me just spin around real quick.
Alright, Twister. Random fires and stack.
Why? But you were on it.
Did an orb
Was
explode?
that mine?
Yeah.
Kidding me? I was in it for so long.
I was gonna say, I wasn't in the fire that long. I couldn't have gotten
That,
the
that actually blew up. That's ridiculous.
You were in it on my screen.
Who's rolling dice?
You trying to lose some money?
I'm often not reading names, so I don't know who was in every one. But they were in it from beginning to the end. You moved out, so it must
It's
have been
me.
your fault somehow.
I'm not denying it was my ball that blew up. I am saying it's bullshit.
Oh, okay. I suppose I can't legally argue that.
I mean, you just pulled, like, your move right in. What?
Look, it's different. The bullshit I got away with is totally different.
Salenta put us on borrowed time. That's what happened.
Pretty much.
So really, it's your fault that I killed us. Thanks, Salenta.
Wait, no, that's not. No, you can't do.
Yep.
Like, what is that bullshit right there? Like, how do I lose a position over there? That's the worst. The boss is literally flipping around to hit 5. And I somehow missed a positional during an instantaneous 180 degree. Because it's not actually instant.
Alright, Twister.
Yay, Twister Buddies again.
Random fires and then stack. Alright, Twister. Random fires and stack. In stack.
I mean, that's gotta be you, right, Tam?
I saw you move over, and I didn't see you move any further over.
Right, but like you were way closer to her, to True North. Like if you look at where A
Others.
is, we should both be to the sides of it, right?
Stack.
I mean, I
get
guess
in.
we're both pretty close. So, we got rid of the Mickey Mouse ear markers so that we could use them for dive bombs, but is there a reason we can't have them up for that first set of thunders since it's always a specific spot? And then they just get moved later on?
If you
That's
want to put
actually-
them down.
That's when I marked 1 and 2. That's like the only time I do
Is it? Okay. Alright, never mind then, never mind. Okay.
In fact, I only have enough time to put down 1 and 2. I don't have enough time to put down D. But there's plenty of down.
Oh. The dragons are already in place then? I didn't know how that works. It's like, man, you must be real fast to be able to mark those things while the dive bomb markers are going out.
So once the dragons come down, they don't move.
No. So, what are the A, B, and C markers for after the puddles are dropped? Anything?
So you don't have to put them down again after the wipe.
Yes, exactly. Like,
That's a valid answer, actually.
getting those in place would add like 30 seconds to every pull.
That's an acceptable answer. I can live with it. I'm just trying to avoid what just happened with me and Tam there, where we weren't in the right position.
Eyeball better.
I wanted that positional so bad. Like running circles around the bosses.
Generate Twister. Random fires and stack. Generate Twister. Random fires and stack.
I had to take the ball.
You tried.
I
did it.
tried so hard.
Did you come down to my thing, Solenta? Is that what happened?
Yeah, I didn't see who had it.
Rip.
And
I saw
tried to
you. I
adjust.
saw 2 balls next to me. I was like, oh, someone's about to die.
I
Except
tried to
not.
adjust, and then I got clipped by your ball. And Konata is like, oh, the ball's on me. I got this. It's cool.
And then the fire.
Under control.
Turns out it wasn't very cool. See, Solenta, here's a position where you can actually blame Kanata, right? He should have known you were going to get hit by mine, gone to the thing, and then rescued you.
Oh. I still would have died though.
Right, but at least the parade wouldn't have wiped.
Watch this thing. All the better for limit break.
Cherry Twister. Random fires and stack. Giant Twister. Random fires and stack. Stack.
Carrick got tagged by both lightnings.
Midori usually.
Stack and get in.
Come on, seriously?
Never mind.
So I don't know when we stopped doing it, but we stopped calling who's going which direction with Thunderstruck on that first one.
I'm calling other things at the moment.
I will never be able to call it.
For what it's worth, I always go to the B side.
Yeah,
But-
so what? Which is the problem we just ran into.
How about we go with the same priority system we used for the towers in 12?
I don't
I
even
approve
remember.
of this, but non-DPS.
What about tanks
don't
and
understand
healers?
this. Yeah. Tanks and healers don't understand this concept. They've never had to deal with it. Sort order.
Well, we're always on the top.
Well,
Fact.
No, except that tanks and healers have never been sent to the left in any of the priorities. The priority is always applied to the DPS. So if it's 2 DPS, you use the priority system. If it's a DPS and a tank or a healer, then the tank or the healer goes right.
You
Tank
cut
or
off
healer
right at the
goes.
end there.
You're like, tank or healer goes. Suspense
yeah.
is killing me.
Yeah, they go left.
Left. Okay.
Right.
Right?
What?
Oh.
No, no exception. No exception.
Because that
Priority system left to right.
Yeah. That's usually.
I understand the idea of exceptions. Sometimes they make sense. I don't want this to be one of them.
Sure, fine. We can go with that. Like tanks and healers can go C.
Then you guys figure out your own priority system, like you and Tam?
I don't think that it will ever pick 2 tanks.
It
I
has.
have watched it happen. Yeah.
There is always a definitive order, sort order. It is always the same for each class.
Okay,
Sure.
so they just do it that way.
Right. So it goes Carrot, Tam, Vias, Kunat, for the record.
All right. Well, I'm always going to C then.
That is true.
And I'm always going to be.
What are you going to be?
Lucky black man. Always knows where they're going.
Must be nice to not have to cast for 3 seconds.
I hope Summoner is after you in this one.
I think Blue Mage is, for what it's worth.
Well, then I'm fine.
Man, in my sort order, Salenta's after placeholder.
That's on you.
I auto sort.
Well, there's actually a place you can configure your auto sort. You can choose, in fact, exactly
I have
the order you want.
Never done that, so.
I'm just saying.
No, I know, but I'm saying like it automatically puts.
Might be different for PS4.
It's very possible.
God, that'd be awful.
Or it was like an inherited setting from like a million years ago.
Or it could be when I joined the party. I joined as a healer or something.
Anyway, Salenta is between Tylee and Midori on my screen.
I might want to move. This might be bad. Everyone might be
Yeah, I think we should
Stand in the fire
Not
or
talk.
stand in the wall.
focus on the run during the run. Been doing a lot of comms chatter mid-pull.
So I'm second to last.
You are second
Yep.
to last.
Okay.
Tylee, Salenta,
Well, I-
Midori, placeholder. It's not even close to alphabetical.
Nope. It's not even reverse alphabetical. tanks, healers, melee, range.
And the melee sort in the order that the class was added to the game.
Actually, you might be correct.
So, Monk or Doom? Which one goes first?
Well, that's a toss-up. Monk is first, though.
I totally moved enough.
Maybe we should do the Twister strat. I like the Twister strat.
I thought we were doing the plummet strat.
Except Midori had aggro.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, I'm not plummet everybody. Well, I was getting death sentence anyways. Doesn't matter.
Death sentence sounds like something one of your students writes.
Mhm.
Maybe I should turn down effects. I'm like trying to run through the boss there, and I'm like, please don't hit the twister, please don't.
Generate Twister. Random fires and stack. It was close. Very close. Don't step in that fire. Generate Twister. Random fires and stack.
Oh, that's like a good chunk fireball. Worst part is someone else is probably gonna die. Oh. Or he'll die twice.
And stack. Fire north. Thunder's north. Stack and then get out. And due south. Thunders, get out. Spread, then get out. Thunders. Rip. Healer LB.
Dude, gonna...
Raven speak.
Okay.
I did. Spread and then dive. Everyone spread out.
And the last marker wasn't down.
Like almost due north.
11:59.
We don't have our spread positions for the dive during dive bombs, do we? Are
I
they
mean,
the same?
sort of.
'Cause that-
Officially, we haven't discussed it, but no, they presumably should be the same.
I think it's time to discuss it. But so, are we supposed to assume that in between A, B, and C is the safe area with
Yes.
dive bombs? Okay. So we're using our 8-way positions based on the center being the center of those 3 points.
Sure.
Sort
Okay.
of, but in the first, before the first dive bomb, stay away from the right half of the arena. During the second dive bomb, it's A, B, and C is probably safe, and then during the third dive bomb, everyone move to the right, move east.
Well, when we have to spread for the dive that she does, that happens during the dive bombs going off, right?
Yes.
The
and there's
meteor
two of them.
stream.
I believe there's two
So
of
if that's the case, we kind of have to be in the middle and already spreading before the first dive bomb goes out, right?
Yeah.
No, the meteor streams happen considerably after that.
Okay.
So it's like the first marker goes out, then you start pooping the little like puddles while the second marker is out, and then the third marker goes out, and then after the third marker is in position, you have like a second and a half to get in position before the stream and she lands on someone.
Which, to be clear, is like just after the second dive bomb actually happened. It's well before the third dive bomb actually.
It's before the third dive bomb actually happens, but it's well after the third dive bomb marker goes out. So you get to see who has the third marker. They go to the third mark. Everyone else needs to be spread out in the triangle of safety.
And once the right side has been cleared, you can just go there.
Well, just make sure you're not stacking with other people. So also, I want to confirm we are using our inverted 8-ways, right? For the safety triangle, so to speak. Okay.
Never mind. Actually, it's not important. There's no chance of a stack there, right?
No, it's always spread for the stream.
Right, but then she does the dive. She does something after that, right? I just wanted to make sure there's no stack possibility.
No, she lands on the floor. You can download
Oh.
the stack.
Generate Twister. Random fires and stack. Generate Twister. You know what, Tam? I think we can just skip that shirk there. And then as soon as Nail lands, I can actually just shirk to you without needing the provoke. Also, I'm no longer using Divine Veil here. I'm gonna save it for one of the stacks. In a stack. Fire out. Thunder's out. Stack and get in.
I need more help.
Thunders. Fire in. Spread a way and then get out. Get back in. Thunders.
Thunder to the south.
Oh,
Ice balls! I have some of those being formed in my freezer right
There's
now.
no dive bomb markers out.
We can wing it.
Dive, and then stack. Start dropping our puddles. It's number 2. Number 3.
No, this is fine. It goes both ways, depending.
Yeah, you can go either. Yeah.
Okay, so I learned something important on that poll actually. I can't do the thing I wanted to do where when you guys all go left, I go right, because then I missed that fire.
Oh, right.
That happens during the stack.
That's why I was like, you gotta be in for fire, so.
Yeah, well I ended up
watch that.
I ended up manipulating to the fire that went out, so it worked out, but I'd rather not do that, so I'm just gonna keep going. Yeah.
So with the dragons, it's like starting like basically almost at north. The first 2 dragons clockwise are the first tether or the first dive bomb.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And then the second 2, or is it just 1 for the second?
There's 5 total, so
Yeah,
2,
this-
1, 2.
Okay.
Yeah. Just 1 dragon for the second dive bomb.
But that said, if the two that are pairs are together, they're not really that much different than having a single dragon. So the problem is when they're apart.
Yeah, when it's like 5 o'clock and 11 o'clock, you have to go like southwest corner. If you go like northwest like you normally do, the one at 5 o'clock will go straight through the middle.
To be clear, the middle triangle should never ever be unsafe, right?
Yes, but there's not. It's very hard to fit 8 people in the middle triangle.
Yeah.
And if you had a dive bomb marker, you could just stay at your marker.
No. The dive bomb will kill you.
Yeah, there's that. There's the big dive bomb that happened.
Not recommended.
January Twister. Alright, random fires and stack. January Twister.
Rip. We can salvage it, get in there, Solanta. What? you weren't in that? What the?
I actually think it went off a little early.
Yeah, I think the box hit.
If maybe I'd been on the close
The bomb-
side, it would work.
That's right there, time of days. Rip. Wait, doesn't Samurai have like a back jump thing?
Yeah, I would have back jumped into it.
Whatever. Yeah, I guess that's true. You can't jump over it, huh?
It probably came back for him.
I could definitely not jump over it.
What if you pressed spacebar really hard and then did the backflip?
I mean, I could have jumped around it in theory.
C positioning.
I mean, if jumps actually made you leave the ground.
Yeah, if only. No, I meant like if I was like literally on the close side of the circle, it might have worked. It was pretty close. Oh wait, who isn't ready?
Kakarot.
Cherry Twister.
On the plus side, sometimes I do hit my positionals when I didn't deserve to hit because of fire. And the tank's
Cherry
out
Twister.
of position.
Danger Zone. Out.
I take that?
Fire out. Fire out. Thunder's out. Stack and then get out going south. Thunder's out. Fire in.
Why did I have paralyzed?
Because Thunder did not get out.
I can only think of one reason.
Spread and then get in. And that's the reason why when we spread, we're spreading to max melee, not to like New Zealand. Ice balls.
Ice balls.
Gross. No one likes explodey balls.
Yeah, like thorn pods, those things are awful.
That seems like a... That pull seems like a really good example. I kind of want to like figure out what we're going for. But... I guess we'll move on. It feels like it was very tight until suddenly everything went to shit.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, there was a Thunder that was in the middle.
Okay, that was it.
That was absolutely it.
I guess I just don't remember not dying to them. But clearly it's possible.
Just a little bit further than that.
I don't know what you're asking as a remedy for that.
I just, the main person that attacks is placeholder.
Yeah, I usually adjust.
I definitely pushed the shrink macro button.
I am unable to rest. Oh, that's
I-
pretty bad. Oh! Oof.
Yeah, alright, well.
You definitely pushed the shirt.
That's why I made that macro. But it's also my greatest downfall.
Because it's a macro. It doesn't get cute.
It's especially
Because that
bad when I'm
thought
trying
you were
to...
a bot.
Sorry, you're like a quiet robot. What's going on?
I said, is it also like that when that guy thought you were a bot?
What are you, a bot? Like, yes, it's called a macro. Perhaps you've heard of them. But no, it's especially difficult when I'm trying to weave a macro in between holy spirits.
Is this lasties?
I think so.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting close.
Unless
We'll say
someone back to a
tentative,
twister and like the very beginning.
tentative
Hopefully last.
lasties.
Hopefully that. Oh, I pulled first. Oops. I haven't done that in a really long. Definitely in the order of years.
Alright, Twister. Random fires. No, why did I not get it? Giant Twister.
Both go there. Oh.
I was so far out of. I was so far out of. Fuck you, game. I was like literally 10 feet out of it.
Am I standing in a different position where you can't see me get it, or what's?
No, I just happened to not be looking at you, or I didn't.
That's weird. That it really hasn't been happening in the past.
No, it's me.
Real lasties, regardless of whether we clear the first phase or not.
I mean, I don't know if you're doing anything different. It's on me to see it, so. I'm just happening to not see it somehow.
I'll put my hat back on next week. Or tomorrow,
Oh,
that's
fuck,
probably
maybe
it.
that's it.
Yeah, you don't see the yellow hat. It's gotta be what it is.
The like danger pylon.
Yep.
I actually like that.
Alright, Twister. Random fires and stack.
No. Not like this.
I pulled that ball so far out of the way.
I put my ley lines in the wrong spot. That's on me. I knew it too when I put them down that it was too close. Damn it.
Twister.
We're about 5% behind, I think.
I was gonna say we're mostly okay.
We're
Well,
dead.
Two tanks behind.
This seems suboptimal now.
all right, whatever. Somebody else can enjoy that ball.
Alright, well, come refreshed and clear-headed tomorrow, and we can hopefully make... I mean, it didn't feel like much, but we actually made some decent progress. And
The
we
thing
got
is,
a
we
lot of
actually
stage...
we made okay progress in the part of the fight that is the hardest part of the fight.
Also, like, just consistently clearing phase 1 for the first 2 hours. We started getting a little sloppy there at the end, but, you know, that's how we get the time in phase 2 to clean it up, is by not fucking up phase 1.
Slanta Carrot, do you want to show the legacy movement? Like when you're moving in one direction, you can cast the other way. Does it slow you down?
Like, when your character turns, you, like, jitter for a second.
No, so like the important thing to note is that turning to cast. Maybe I'm forgetting this, but like that's a thing for DPS builds. It's not a thing for heals.
No, for like insta-cast DPS spells. Here, want to try it? Where should I go? Do you still... Is your house still in lavender beds, Slanta?
No.
Oh wait,
I mean,
just
I could-
teleport to your house. What's your house?
I don't have a training dummy.
Oh, there. Well, you can teleport.
I can teleport to your house,
That is true.
but I also don't use legacy controls.
Oh.
I mean, we have discussed this in the past.
Look, it was so
Jared
long
and
time.
Tam both use standard.
Carrot, I get it, trust me. I think it's better. For
Anyway.
reasons I can't explain.
For standard, is better than legacy.
Just whatever I
Yes.
use, I like it.
Whatever I use, I like as well, which is consistent with what was in WoW, which is what I've been playing with for the last, I guess, 14 years.
Sorry.
Anyway, point is, if you hit forward, your character runs forward. And if you turn to do an attack, what is forward is no longer forward.
Come here, then.
They're residential controls. Basically.
Like, hang on a second. Let me get out of combat and I will teleport to you. I guess you're at a thing.
Yes.
It's like my once a month use of the Eternity Ring.
Sorry, I'm doing a gate. I'm busy right now.
Okay.
Where are you? I teleported to you and you're actually not here.
I get that.
I'm pretty tilted.
You took so long to load in, I was not over there anymore.
Well, you had one at your house, and then you went to the one that was further away.
There's two of
All
them
right.
here.
Watch my character.
Right, I know. On standard, you turn.
No, I think the thing is like, one, I know there was a setting, or was that just the no? That was the auto attack setting. That was,
Yeah, so I can just walk this direction and attack it, and no problem.
Well, yes, that's the thing with Legacy, is you can push a direction and attack at the same time, and you will move in that direction. Standard swings your camera, which forces you to...
No.
Which changes your orientation.
No, if you're holding the right mouse button, it works the same regardless of which mode you have. So when I'm holding the right mouse button, my camera is not swinging when I change whenever my character attacks, but my character still, because forward walks my character forward, for a split second, when I use an attack, my character pivots and then takes a step forward because I'm still holding forward, does the attack, and then because I'm holding my camera and pushing forward, my character then swings back to walk in the direction of the camera. So when I'm holding the camera, forward always moves me whichever way the camera is pointing. It's camera-based controls when I'm holding the right mouse button.
If I'm just standing here, casting a spell turns me.
Yeah.
Yes. I think this is regardless of whichever camera system you have. And the amount of lag that it has depends on how much your computer is doing at the time, or how much, whatever, maybe even latency or something like that. But what's also important is if you jump before you attack, even if your character turns around, you will not start walking in the direction until you land. So if you jump and attack at the same time, it completely eliminates that little tiny stutter, regardless of timing.
Oh. I think the reason I've never run into this is all of my instant cast spells are not on my main hut. So they're like Alt 2.
Are you on Legacy Slime Tail?
Yeah.
It doesn't do that on Legacy.
No, that's not true. My point is...
The auto-facing is a setting.
Yeah, you auto-face, but you don't stop your momentum at all. You keep going the same direction. You turn around, but you walk backwards.
No, my point is my conflict is with jumping.
Mm-hmm.
My jumping is spacebar. I'm not hitting spacebar in Alt 2.
And like W.
Yeah, and W at the same time. Like this doesn't work that for me. But that's just probably because of the particular settings I'm using.
Anyway, point is, depending on the situation, the load on the system, how what your current FPS is, possibly even, it can totally kill you. Like, it can fuck you up and kill you by causing you to backpedal for a second.
But only on stand.
No. Like, you can keep running that test and it doesn't matter because you're fighting a target dummy in an empty field by yourself. Like, if you hold forward, does your character walk in the direction you're facing?
Not necessarily.
It's
Right.
oriented to the camera, but your left and right don't strafe you in Legacy. You only strafe in Legacy when you're locked onto a target.
Oh, I don't know.
What does locked onto a target mean?
No, I don't even use that.
You can lock onto a target.
Well, if
It's
you
factually a true statement.
you can just hold right click and you can strafe too.
The thing is, like, locking onto a target was a thing when auto attacking forced you to attack the target in front of you. That after that was gone, there's no reason.
Anyway, I wish I could turn off auto-facing entirely, especially when healing, but I can't because otherwise you just won't cast.
Right.
I thought attack spells required you to be facing, but healing didn't.
Yep, that is true.
That is true. That is why I wish that it would allow you to have auto-facing turned on for attack spells and not for heals. Like, if I cast a heal on a tank, I don't want my character to rotate.
I'm pretty sure there's a setting.
No, there's not. And that's the problem. Like, I turned auto-facing off so that I could heal and not get rotated. And then I'm like, why am I not DPSing? Why am I not casting arrow? Why am I not casting arrow 3? And it's like, oh, because my character is just facing some random direction. And when I'm a caster, I don't pay attention to which way my character's facing.
Oh, it's for any action, yeah.
For any action.
For T7, you kind of have to use that.
The other thing is, like, why do you have to have your character turn to face the target for your actions? I guess realism.
I was just saying, like...
Realism.
I mean,
you
can
can
imagining this character, like, throwing a spell over their shoulder.
You can auto-attack from max melee pointing the other direction.
But that's a quality of life change. It's not a realism. It's something in despite of realism. It's something they used to have in Force, and they're like, this is making people too angry.
Oh yeah, in Standard, you totally do that. So like, you just kind of like stop there for a sec. Oh wow, I'm just like completely going the other direction. What the heck?
But you also have to get used to it, to be clear.
No, if you're running forward, right, and you click an Instacast spell, you turn around for half a second, and then you go forward.
Now try that while jumping right as you cast the spell, or right before you cast the spell.
And it just feels like Legacy.
So that's what you need to learn how to do when you're playing as a tank, and you're trying to run through a pack of mobs and pick up a mob that is behind you without losing your forward momentum, because otherwise the mobs will catch up to you and start doing damage.
Flash.
Or Legacy.
What is Flash? What is Flash? Legacy controls are garbage. Like, they're actually cancer.
Wow, I'm sorry that you were using the inferior skill set and blaming the superior skill set. What? How embarrassing.
I mean, you can try to defend Legacy, but it's still trash.
What advantage does Standard have? You both talk at the same time. I didn't hear either.
Auto camera, you get more natural movement.
You get strafing even if you don't have a target selected.
And
that's ridiculous. I can strafe just fine.
You can't backpedal in Legacy.
But they removed all the penalties and reasons to back. There is no reason to backpedal now.
Well, in Legacy, there's no reason to backpedal.
There is simply no reason.
Well, if you want to jump onto a ledge that's very close to you, and do a backpedal jump.
I hate to break this to you, but jumping forward in this game is based off of the amount of movement that you've done up to the point that you jump. So if you only move a little bit and then you jump, so if you move and then you hit jump quickly, you only jump a little bit. It is exactly the same as a backwards jump.
But I do really like the freedom of movement. You can go any direction at any time, including behind you.
Like, the thing about standard movement that appeals to me is the idea that it is more naturally what a human being would feel when they're moving. So I do get that part. But from a mechanical perspective, there is no advantage.
It feels like legacy camera movement was designed for controller.
Well, yes, because it's the original movement system from 1.0.
No, but it was no. That's
Right,
not,
because your camera,
It's not true. It's not true.
your camera control is independent of your character's. It's like games that have the tank and turret system, right?
It's the same as 1.0.